Welcome to the Dreamlands. We are planet-side once again for some Deserts of Kharak. And boy, have I got a banger for you guys this week. This was a game that I played in maybe last week, and it was so damn good, I had to share it with you. Originally, I intended for my next upload to be the remastered campaign continuation, but having played this game, I decided to throw it up first, and we will get back to the remastered campaign next up. So, we've got some damn good teams in this one, and it was a very, very good game. So let's get into it here with our introduction. Spawning on the north side of Kalash Valley is our map. Yellow team. First up, taking the west hand spawn, it is going to be Last Rites, aka me, your host and narrator at the Dreamlands. I'm going to be spawning in as the Galcian. I'm pretty excited to be playing this game. I haven't played in a long time at this point, so I was having a few games with the boys off Discord the other night, and we had a damn good time, so I'm pretty excited about this. Taking up the middle spawn for yellow team on the north side of the map, it is going to be none other than 10th Wave. Another old school player, needs no introduction, a good friend of mine, and he is going to be spawning in as the Coalition. And taking up the east side spawn, a legend in his own right, it is going to be Tren, another old friend of mine from the scene. He is going to be spawning in as the Soban. So myself, 10th Wave, and Tren are going to be spawning in on the north side. South side, red team, first up, taking the east side spawn. Another player that needs no introduction whatsoever, it is Catharsis. A very, very solid player, been around forever, and is a pretty scary Knef player in his own right. And he is spawning in as the Knef on that west side spawn, middle spot. So this is a player that is making their debut on the channel. I'm pretty sure they're fairly new to the game because I have never seen them around before these games. It is Moose. So welcome Moose to the channel. He is going to be playing as the Galcian, taking up that middle spawn. And taking up the right side spawn, we are on the east over here. It is going to be Moritz, playing as the Coalition. He is another player that has been around forever. Pardon me. And he is a very solid player. So our teams are looking pretty darn nice. One thing to note, I was pretty happy to get, we all rolled random for this match, and I was pretty happy to get 10th and Tren, some good friends on the team with me. However, none of us have played in a really long time. It's been months since any of us have played. So we are getting back into it. Looks like 10th has gone for the Sport Cruiser first and has saturated his main and is extending to his first wreck bulkhead. Saturated that as we speak. I have gone for a greed opener. I went for production cruiser refinery mode first, immediately up to 2 resource locations, and now I'm getting a couple sand skimmers on the field. Forward base runners for all of us. Tren, on the other hand, went for LAV opener, and he has a ton of LAVs. Some sneaky business going on here from Moritz. Going to try and pop a turret down. Tren is going to catch that out with his LAVs. He's going to pop that turret as soon as it spawns, followed by the base runner. Really strong opener for Tren. What's going on over here? Oh boy, action already, as you can anticipate. We have grabbed 2 artifacts. Red team has grabbed 1. Catharsis with a forward base runner. He has got 3 blast drones. However, I had anticipated this, and so I had my scanner in a prime location. I spot them, fan out my sand skimmers, and come at them from all angles. I spot the play, gonna get a good split onto my salvagers, and then suicide one of my skimmers into all 3 drones. 3 drones for a single skimmer. That's a pretty nice opener for me. We have got mass AAVs now coming in from Moritz. He is on his second wreck bulkhead, so he went Sport Cruiser first. He's also long hauling from his third, so really strong economic opener. Looks like Moose with full greed. So he went production cruiser refinery first, got 2 production cruisers on the field, and is fully mining off of 3 resource locations. He has sand skimmers and assault railguns on the field. So very, very nice opener from him. Catharsis with that early aggression. It looks like he has finally got Sport Cruiser first, or production cruiser refinery mode. And is set up his second wreck bulkhead, trying to make a second grab on that artifact. Moose there. I'm putting a little bit of harassment with my skimmers onto that base runner, going to force him back. A little bit of an engagement going down here. Looks like these sand skimmers and AAVs and assault railguns are going to give Tren's base runner a bit of trouble here. Forward base runner with a turret from 10th wave, that is going to get cleaned up. Both of these base runners are going to get forced back, so neither team able to make a drop yet. 10th wave is long hauling from his third. Tren long hauling from his second. No, not long hauling. He is fully mining off of 2 resource locations. He has the problem of taking the west spawn on the north side. This wreck bulkhead is extremely difficult to hold. Looks like Tren's base runner is going to go down. Mine was trying to sneak in here. I didn't notice any of this stuff going on. I'm going to see that shit and be pretty upset because I can't do anything about it. Onto heavy railguns now to back up my sand skimmers. Looks like on the back of that other fighting, Moose has decided to make the play for the artifact, and I don't think I can stop it. I'm trying to fan out and continue dodging with all of my sand skimmers to prevent a big hit from those blast drones. Nice turret from 10th here. Going to shut down these assault ships from Catharsis. We're moving into support. They are going to get the drop though. As my railguns move in, a little bit too late. We are going to snipe that base runner though, I do believe. Big blob here pushing out through mid. We have got LAVs from Tren supporting AAVs and railguns from 10th wave. A couple of railguns from Tren, and we have missile batteries from 10th wave. So nice force here, going to put a big push through mid, try and secure this central ground. Clutch smoke from Moritz going to allow his AAVs to back off, but Moose has a ton of railguns and assault railguns here. Heavy railguns and assault railguns, they're going to take up that nice position right on top of the dune there and make a problem for these forces. We have got air already on the field from Catharsis, and that is a scary thing indeed. He is putting in a little bit of harassment on Tren's flank. I'm going to move in now that I've got a big blob of sand skimmers and some railguns here. A little bit of miss micro on the railguns. They should be on the other side of that dune. But I'm going to clean up Catharsis base runner.
Secure at all costs. Destination. Defense alert. Enemy armor inbound.
We do have missile batteries and railguns on the field for Moritz now. And we are going to have a big problem with Catharsis interceptors. Catharsis has some top tier airplay, very good micro, and it can be pretty devastating and pretty frustrating. Spotting those, I get some missile ships on the field. I'm going to my base runner somehow survived, probably by virtue of all of these forces pushing up. So I've grabbed that artifact, and 10th has an artifact as well. We're going to try and make the drop, it looks like.
Moving to destination. Destination locked in.
Moritz camping a couple AAVs on the top of that hill to block the pass, so that we can't do any harass shenanigans.
Target location marked.
Hey, and here come all the interceptors from Catharsis. He's going to pop that turret, and he's going to start trying to camp this top position here, which is going to be a real headache if he's able to do that. Big engagement going down in mid, though. Moose with the third production cruiser on the field, going to bring his carrier out. That is pretty scary. 3 units of power so far. Railguns trading blows across the center of the map. Going to force us back yet again. So really nice plays from Team Red, blocking 3 artifact drops now. And of course the interceptors come in with their massive DPS and speed, and they're able to snipe not only my missile battery but all of my railguns. I'm going to start putting some harassment onto 10th's third. I've set up my third now, and I finally have a third production cruiser on the field, so I'm able to bring my Galcian carrier forward to bear. Skimmers on the east flank, just going to try and prevent Catharsis from camping this spot here, which can be a big problem on the east flank. Big blob of skims coming in. These are LAVs from Moritz, pardon me. Going to try and get some scouting information and look at these railgun lines. That is going to be a big problem. 10th has his carrier out on the center of the map now. since he does have 3 support cruisers on the field. Tren still hasn't been able to set up his 3rd, which is not unusual on this map. Really nice plays from Red locking that down. And my skims are in a bit of trouble here, as we do have our first Knef siege cruiser on the map. Oh, I'm going to spot that thing with my skims, and a couple of assault ships as well. Going to lose a handful of skims there. Red is just creeping ever forward, encroaching on our territory. Spotting this, I'm going to keep producing missile ships and bring my carrier to the front line now that I have a decent amount of power. I've got power 3 researched. Honor Guard cruiser just hit the field, and I'm going to try and force Catharsis off with this. Catharsis has the numbers though on his skims, so that's pretty devastating. I'm going to pop off a pretty damn nice volley and land a big Honor Guard shot in the middle of that blob, make him think twice. He is going to back right off. Big engagement going on the other side of the map, or at least about to kick off. Look at these numbers. This macro is crazy. So many skimmers and LAVs, so many railguns, a forward carrier, anti-air, you name it. 10th gets a bead on Moose's carrier, and his carrier along with Tren's LAVs are just going to prevent this giant blob of LAVs from camping. Finally kicking into full macro mode, I'm getting mass heavy railguns, mass missile ships, mass skimmers, and pumping out those Honor Guard cruisers. Going to try and use my carrier to bully Catharsis off this spot, because this is super annoying. You can never let your opponent camp here with artillery. It is just the most annoying thing in the world. But these big blobs of interceptors are going to give me a problem. I'm going to tank with my carrier and bully him off while this engagement kicks off in mid. Look at these armies. So many railguns now from Tren and 10th Wave. They are in a very good defensive spot here. They're going to block this. Moose getting super aggressive. Look at that, leading the charge with his carrier. We've got a massive engagement here. They're focusing the artifacts to keep us behind in terms of artifacts, which is a pretty nice play. Tren's carrier finally coming out front to support, and this is what I love to see. Giant battles spearheaded by massive carriers. I finally forced Catharsis off of the hill here. He doesn't really want to engage this too much. I've got an Honor Guard cruiser. I've got missile ships with their barrage ability, and in reserve a big blob of skimmers, using my carrier to tank, continuously producing base runners for that heal, and Honor Guard cruisers to keep him at bay. This engagement is still going. Both Moritz and Moose have their carriers out front now, and they are just being super aggressive with incredibly good macro. They're going to have a hard time punching through this. Let us check this out. What a spectacle. We got any nukes yet? Not quite yet. Power 4 for Catharsis. We are just going to have Red suicide a whole bunch of skimmers into the railgun line, try and thin those out, while 10th and Tren keep holding on. I'm going to try and get a flank off, but really nice positioning on these assault ships and micro from Catharsis skimmers. Going to cause a big problem. These LAVs on the flank as well. I noticed that Tren and 10th are in a bit of trouble. They are getting pushed really hard. Double carriers, mass railguns, suicide LAVs getting on top. Tren and 10th are bleeding out railguns now, and it is looking pretty grim for them. Forward support cruisers keeping 10th's carrier in the fight, and now I have pushed. Ooh, those 3 siege cruisers though, bad news for me. I've pushed forward with my carrier. I believe there was a big engagement that we just missed on this flank. I do apologize for that. I lost a ton of heavy railguns trying to camp this position here. Really nice play from Catharsis with these siege cruisers. I've been doing pretty well though with my carrier tanking damage, and I'm trying to reinforce my heavy railgun numbers and keep Catharsis off this spot.
Acknowledged.
I had pushed him pretty hard over here, and we missed that, unfortunately. Oh, God. Big nuke. Cruise missile right on top of the massive blob of units. Clutch cruise missile from 10th wave. Point blank. That is going to turn the tides. Oh, but a return cruise missile from Moritz going to clean up the rest of 10th wave's forces. Big engagement. Tren and 10th holding on, but they are under massive pressure here. We do have some AAV harass trying to come through the pass. Really nice timing from Moritz on that. I got to congratulate him on this. But we do have an ALM and a bunch of railguns from Tren. He's going to move back his carrier. Barely saves his support cruiser just in the nick of time. I am able to force Catharsis off, and with that, I still got that one
Moving to destination.
HGC as well as a big skimmer blob, and reinforcing my heavy railgun numbers. I'm going to try and shut this down. Catharsis, being the opportunist that he is going to try and get a bit of harass in from these missile ships. Long range missile barrage going to try and cut me off from Moose. I'm going to dodge that mostly. Kick in my super carrier speed and get my carrier in here to do some damage. But this is going to be a problem. Look at Catharsis numbers now with all of these siege cruisers. 5 Knef siege cruisers and a carrier with 3 power in missiles is nothing to sneeze at. Looks like red is closing the jaws of death. Another honor guard cruiser hits the field for me. I'm going to cock block that maneuver with my carrier and bring forward all my rail blobs.
Target location marked.
I'm going to launch a missile barrage right on top of this railgun camp. It's going to do a decent amount of damage, but not enough, sadly. Get that heal in from my base runners. I love the base runner heal. Oh, that honor guard shot. Oh, God, that feels good.
Target location.
Going to force those guys off. They don't want anything to do with this, but my problem now is going to be this shit right here. Look at that. Man, you don't want any piece of this. Look at that barrage. Oh man, giving me a bad day over there. Tren and 10th pushed back all the way. Big missile barrage right on top of all of 10th's railguns from downtown. He's going to answer with a cruise missile. Oh, point blank cruise missile. Going to pop all of those units. Meanwhile, Moose getting a little overzealous with his carrier. He's going to try and push into a huge railgun line from Tren. That is not a good idea. He is probably going to go down, and yes, he does. Overzealous with the carrier, so Moose's carrier falls. And is he going to continue pushing with all of these units? What is this? Honor Guard cruisers. Jesus. 3 Honor Guard cruisers. Oh! Ouch! Good grief. Coming back onto the other side with my carrier, trying to kite these barrages while my carrier tanks damage on the front lines and forces those siege cruisers out of their position with that barrage. I'm really fighting tooth and nail this whole game, me and Catharsis, for control of this dune. But things are slowly falling apart for Yellow Team, it looks like. Look at this. Moritz able to camp this nice position here with his rail guns. I'm going to try and harass those with my skimmers, and that was not a good idea. Going to try and tank. Oh, those Knef missiles, though. Those things hurt. I'm going to bust power into... Look at the power on my carrier, though. This thing has been keeping me in the game. Even getting that base runner heal in. Look at my carrier. Oh, he goes down trying to hold the line as much as possible. 1 carrier down for each team, but it looks like Tren and 10th still have their carriers. They have a decent number of rails, but can they hold on? Brutal fighting this entire game across the entire map. Let's watch this charge. Forward carriers with mass firepower. Point blank cruise missile right in the middle of all these rails. Good night. That didn't do as much damage as I thought it was going to do. They finally get up to Tren's third, but with the flank totally uncovered, the only thing I've got left is a couple of honor guard cruisers and my production cruisers, which are going to be spamming units as much as they possibly can. But look at this. The east flank has totally collapsed. Knef carrier is right on our doorstep, cresting the hill. Massive siege cruisers, interceptors through the skies, sand skimmers, assault ships, missile batteries, railguns, you name it. But 10th and Tren have finally thinned out Moose's forces enough. Oof! Those honor guards though, man, crazy scary. Tren is going to not start mining. He's just going to try and hold this position. 10th wave looks like he wants to shut this down. Is he going to be able to? I do have full production. My 3 production cruisers are still on the field, so I can get a lot of heavy rails. And I still do have a couple of honor guard cruisers on the field. Can I hold, though, with 10th's carrier support? That's the question. Tren looks like he has enough to hold on that flank for the time being. Yeah, you don't want none of this with your skimmers.
Hostile railgun inbound. Contact imminent.
Ooh! Man, I love honor guard cruisers. What a beautiful unit they are. So 10th is going to cockblock this and allow my forces to take up a firing line. We're going to get those off. Did he just whiff a cruise missile? I think he did. And he is going to come right into Knef missile fire. Not what you want to do with your carrier. 10th's carrier goes down. Now it is Tren all alone, and look at these cruisers. Holy Christ. We have got mass honor guard cruisers. Moose still in the game. He is going to push, and it looks like it's good night for Team Yellow. That was a very, very fun game, and a pretty intense one to be welcomed back to the sands for the 3 of us. We haven't played in a long time, so that was a pretty damn intense game. Tren is about to go down right here. So congratulations to Red Team. They're going to take this game with the carrier kill at 1-0. So GG to all players. I hope you guys liked this game. Let me know what you think in the comments. Smash the like if you feel like it. And if you want to get in on these games, I've got the links to both the official Homeworld Discord as well as my own Dreamlands Discord in the description. Hit us up and get in on these games, and I'll see you next time.